total team effort. And, Brian Snow is this is our third year together, and he's really spearheaded this for us. And we've signed successful classes every single year. But like it starts there. But then, like I said, it's a total team effort. And, our assistant coaches do an unbelievable job of building relationships and finding guys that are going to fit Notre Dame. They're going to fit our style of play. And those guys do an unbelievable job of getting those guys here and helping to get them signed. It also is Pat Rogers and his detail from when they get here to getting them onto campus to making sure that when they're here to visit, all of those things are going successfully. And, that trickles all the way down to, Logan and Rachel and their time that they spend with these recruits that are here, from Josh and Allie and everybody that really, we make them feel like this is a family place. And there's a lot of people that really care about you that's here. So like I said, this is a total team effort and a very, very bright day for our future with three, really great people first and foremost, right? Like, when you talk about these guys, you think about that first and foremost, is they're great people. They're great students. They're going to be great fits at Notre Dame. They're really good basketball players. All three fit our style of play, as you'll see. But they're winners also. And, Cole's team last year, Bloomington Central Catholic, was runner-up state championship. Lost on the last night in the championship game. Sir Mohammed's team won the North Carolina state championship. Garrett Sundra's team won the Virginia private school state championship, and he's won 16 and 17 U Peach Jams and been a part of those teams. So when you bring in winners, you bring in guys that know how to win, it already adds value to your program.
Yeah, the assistants will go more into the guys and who we sign and what they bring to the table here shortly. But I think you guys are going to see going forward, we have a process for everything we do in recruiting around here. And the first thing is just the fit in the system, the fit with Coach Shrewsberry. We're in an era where people point to the transfer portal and stuff, and you have and people don't pay as much attention to building a roster. We are very systematic about how we build a roster and who we recruit, and that gets to a lot of continuity with Coach Shrewsberry, myself, Mike Fairley, Ryan Owens, who he's known forever, Kyle Getter, who he worked with for a long time. We all are on the same page in how we're going to put a roster together. As Coach Shrews always likes to say, this isn't a school district. We get to choose who we go after. So in that's what you're going to see when you see the highlights, exactly how they fit in with what we do and why these guys were all top priorities for us for a long period of time. We recruited each one of these kids for well over a year, and all of them trusted us, and we trusted them, and we feel the future is in great hands. And just to piggyback off what Coach Shrews said as well, like, there are so many people involved in recruiting that I don't think everyone fully grasps the scope of everything. Like, you see what the assistant coaches do. You see what the head coaches do. People give me way too much credit. But, like, people behind the scenes like Jerry Maloney, Jessica Armstrong, like, everybody is so important in making these recruits feel special when they get to Notre Dame. And we can't thank them enough for what they do for our program and how they help us.
I'll speak for myself and these guys over here. We don't give Snow too much credit. Okay, I'll step down for the next one.
Hey everybody, Mike Farrelly, assistant coach, here to talk about signee Sir Mohammed, Myers Park High School, Charlotte, North Carolina. As Coach had alluded to, winning player coming off a state championship last year, and Myers Park again in all these preseason polls ranked top 20 in the country and one of the top public high schools in the country for their basketball program. So he brings a lot to the table, but first and foremost, coming from a great family. His parents, Mandy, Sir Mohammed, have raised him to be a great kid. Just wonderful to recruit, to get to know, to be around, and was just such a natural fit for us once we started to recruit him and got to know him better. Built a great relationship with Coach Shrewsberry. I don't think anybody in the country recruited him harder than Coach Shrews did, and the bond that they built, I think, was really, really key into getting him here. But like I said, successful Myers Park High School, Team Curry on the AAU circuit, has been all over the Steph Curry camp and Elite 24 and had some great successes on the grassroots side of things as well. So really, really excited to get him here. As you'll start to see in these clips, he's as high IQ of a basketball player as there is in the country. I think he has the highest IQ, and we've seen him all. You'll see here in a lot of his AAU highlights him playing as the point guard for Team Curry and just finding people. His reads off of ball screens and what he's able to do, the vision he plays with both in the half court and in transition is pretty much unmatched, I think, in the 2024 class. So I think for how we play and what we do, just such a great fit in our system, in our read and react and making reads. He obviously plays, got great size, the point guard position, 6'5", 6'6", good athlete, gets to wherever he wants to, gets to his spots, can finish, at the rim, can finish over the rim, and do a little bit of everything. He really is a three-level scorer and a threat to do a little bit of everything on the court. So really excited to get with him every day and, kind of continue to unlock his game moving forward. This was from a big tournament in Vegas over the summer that he was one of the better players at. And you see, head's always up, seeing his teammates, not concerned about scoring, but really wants to make his teammates better and help those guys improve. Can score out of the post and can operate out of the post, at his size as well. I think he's going to be a guy that we can create a lot of mismatches for and be a really hard matchup here in the ACC. There you see a little bit of a fadeaway against a smaller guard. So him being able to play the point guard position at that size and doing some different stuff against smaller guards is going to be huge. Very good shooter. I think that's another thing that he doesn't get probably enough credit for, but can really shoot the basketball, can make mid-range pull-ups, can shoot the ball from three. You'll see a bunch off the dribble. So people are going to have some challenges in guarding him off ball screens, right, because of his ability to shoot the basketball there off of those screens. Not going to be able to go under. You're going to have to play different types of coverages because he's a threat at all those levels. Really good, competitive, active defender. Again, playing at that high level, both in high school and AAU, just that competitive nature. When those games turn up a notch and he's playing in the big moment, he wants to be the guy guarding the basketball and does a great job in those moments. So we're excited to add him to our culture of toughness and competitiveness that we're trying to lay the groundwork with this year's team. So, thank you.
It's my pleasure to come up here and speak about Mr. Cole Certa. Cole Certa is coming to us from IMG Academy, originally from Illinois at Bloomington Central Catholic High School over there that Coach alluded to early. Also played for the well-respected Illinois Wolves Under Armour program in the summer. High-level person, first and foremost. He's one of those kids, when he walks into the room glows brighter. He smiles a lot. He has a great energy about himself, and he's going to fit perfectly into the Notre Dame community, both on the court, off the court. He comes from a basketball family. His mother, Kim, and his father, Tony, hooped at Quincy University. So it comes from a high basketball pedigree, and he's going to do a great job here. So, as you can see right here, we're really excited about what he's going to provide to us. And he's going to provide instant spacing on the basketball court. He has the ability to space the court, which allows everybody else to have more room to operate. He's a world-class elite shooter. We felt like we got the best shooter in the country coming to Notre Dame next year in the 24 class. He can shoot it off the bounce. He can shoot it off the dribble. Off the catch. He can shoot it off the move. He can cut with pace and shoot it. This year, you can see as he has the ball in his hands right there, he's a rhythm shooter as well. He's a gym rat, high IQ, very, very competitive young man with a deep range. You can see him coming off using the ball screen and pulling up and shooting with confidence. And there's always a place on the team for a world-class shooter. You see Cole right there. That's one of the best things about him and what he's doing right now. He's at IMG. He's training with some of the best down there. He's practicing with the best. They got a great coaching staff down there. He's getting that world-class nutrition on a daily basis. He has access to the facilities at all times. And Cole's one of the individuals going to take advantage of his resources there at IMG, just like he's going to do fantastic things for us here at Notre Dame. Thank you.
How's everybody doing? I'm Kyle Getter, Associate Head Coach. I'm going to talk about Garrett Sundra. So first off, Garrett is really a unique player. You know, he's 6'11", but he has a skill set that, you know, kind of the modern day stretched forward. Comes from Paul VI High School, plays for Coach Glenn Farello. Unbelievable high school, great tradition, knows how to win. Coach mentioned it, played for Team Takeover. Keith Stevens, Jameel Jones do a great job running Team Takeover on the Nike circuit. They've won the Peach Jam the last 2 years. He just knows how to win. And I think playing in a high level of competition in both those environments has really benefited him. He knows what it's like to compete against the best. And I think he's just, you know, his upside is through the roof. I think, as you can see in some of these clips, you know, his versatility is really what stands out. He runs the floor extremely well, moves laterally, very fluid mover at 6'11", like I mentioned. You know, can cut off the ball. He can score off dump downs, can score in the post. I mentioned his versatility. You know, he does a lot of things very, very well. Now, he's going to certainly take advantage of spending time with Coach Greg Miskinnis the next few years and getting stronger and getting acclimated to the ACC level of physicality. But he's played against some of the best players in the country, whether it's been on the AAU circuit or in high school. So I think he'll come well prepared to help us, you know, right away. You can see there, I mean, his ability to shoot the floor at 6'11", the way we want to play, you know, with a 5-out, and, you know, Coach loves shooting. He certainly adds that aspect to our program right away.
Great. At this time, we'll have Coach back up, and we will take questions. And we'll start with Tom in the front.
Micah, there's a common theme in talking with all these three kids. They didn't really talk about playing time or their futures. They talked about wanting to get in on the ground floor of this program and be foundational pieces. How important was that to find kids that didn't worry about wins or losses or what the next couple of years might be, but wherever this program goes, they all said they want to be the first class to help this program get to where it's got to get to.
Yeah, I think you see, one, kids that want to be at Notre Dame. Like, these kids want to be here, first and foremost. When they came on their visits, you could see the instant vibes that they had with our freshman class right now, right? So now Marcus, Braden, Logan, Kerry Booth, these guys were together on their visits, just in a huge pack, walking around all together. Like, I think they all sensed that of, like, we want to be the group that everybody thinks back to and says, hey, like, we started this thing up again. And that part of it, like, if you watch those clips, they'll do anything it takes to win, right? I mentioned how they've all won, but they'll do anything it takes to win. Like, they've all played on teams. So you think about Garrett Sundra, who's, you know, his high school team has probably 8 Division I guys on it, right? So his numbers, same as the AAU team. It might not jump through the roof, but he's not like going to Coach Farello or those coaches and asking, how can I get more shots? How can I do more of this? He's saying, how can I help us win? And I think you see the same thing with Sir, with Cole. These guys are just winners in their toughness, and they want to do whatever it takes. And when you have guys like that, like, it's just setting our culture up for who we want to be and how we want to operate.
being an Indiana guy, Indiana recruiting obviously is important, but are there other areas that you're going to look at year to year and say, we can go to this place and get a player from here or there?
We'll recruit anywhere, right? Like, you know, we're here in Indiana, and you know, there's good players here, but there's good players everywhere, and I want to find guys that have been coached also. And you look at that, like, you know, I grew up here in Indiana, and I know the high school basketball and the coaches here are really good. Like, North Carolina's really good. Like, they're like Sir Mohammed, and like some of the stuff that they're doing, you know, his coaches at his high school, they're doing some of the same things that we're doing. Like, he's being really coached at the high school level. Same with Cole, same with Garrett. Like, these guys are going to come in with an advanced stage because they've been coached before they got here. So that's what I look for. Guys that play competitive environments, guys that have been coached, and guys that want to do whatever it takes to help Notre Dame be successful.
Micah, how do you see Sir, you know, in his passing ability, high IQ, fitting in with guys like Cole, like Braden, like Marcus?
You know, how we try and build, you know, an ideal roster for me, right? We play four guards, right? 4 guards that can all do the same exact thing. They can handle the ball, they can pass the ball, they can shoot the ball. Sir's IQ and passing kind of sets him apart at such a young stage. He is a very mature person. He's a very mature basketball player at 18 years old. So, like, when teams try and do different things or try and come up with different game plans, he's one of those guys that's on the court that can see it ahead of time and can help everybody else get to their spots and understand that. So these guys really fit together. Like, I'm all about versatility and skill. And now we want to start adding skill with size. I think that's what we've added in this class. Like, you know, all 3 guys are really skilled, but they're bigger. Like, Sir's 6'6". Cole's a lot bigger than people think, right? People don't think he's very big until you see him in person. Like, he's 6'5". He's almost 6'6". Like, he is a tall dude and with long arms. And, like, Garrett's huge. Like, he's 6'11", like, every bit of it. Now you start to add that, and that helps our defensive versatility when you have that size and length like that.
The big thing that stuck out talking to Garrett's high school coach is that he believes his best basketball is ahead of him. Where do you see Garrett improving over the next couple of years?
I think in a lot of areas. You know, obviously, you know, he'll get stronger. I'm not concerned with that. But, like, as he gets stronger, he's going to be able to play a lot of different positions. You know, like, you know, he's a guy, his ability to run, his ability to move stands out, right? Those are things that I look for in recruiting. Like, he can guard people around the basket. He can switch and guard people on the perimeter. He can run past big fellas on the perimeter, right? So there's a lot of areas that he's going to be able to grow. I think for him, always his ball handling will always improve, right? He's pretty good attacking closeouts and bigger guys and everything else. I think just giving him more responsibility and opening things up for him even more, right? It's hard for him. He doesn't get a lot of opportunities. He plays on a really good high school team and AAU team. He doesn't get opportunities to show off everything that he can do. So I think he always improves with strength, but I don't think he necessarily needs strength to be a good player. He's a good player right now as he is. And he's only going to keep growing. I think he gets better in all areas as he gets more confident, too.
Micah, Tyler James with Inside Indy Sports. With Sir Mohammed joining the program, you have Kerry Booth in the program. What do you think it says about your program that guys with NFL or NBA pedigree want to come play for you?
I think trust, first and foremost. They've trusted. You know, we've recruited those kids now, Kerry, now Sir, for a few years. And I think they've come and watched us practice. They've come and watched us work out. They've seen the film that we've sent them. They've seen the player development that, Grady Eifert and Trey Whitted and our assistants are doing with those guys, and they see how they're getting better. They see our style of play, and it reminds them of the NBA experience that they had. Right, they're both in front office right now, and I think they're seeing some of the stuff that they're doing, in Denver, in Oklahoma City, that we're doing the same exact things. We're playing the same exact way, and they trust that these guys are going to become better basketball players here because of that. And then from there, it's the relationships. Those guys are NBA executives, and they trust that we're going to do right by their kids as basketball players, but we're going to take care of them as well. And this Notre Dame community is going to take care of them, and they felt comfortable in that.
And then you and Brian talked about having a specific approach to building a roster. How important was it to figure out what you have currently here at Notre Dame in terms of identifying your needs for this class?
So that's the interesting thing. Like, we knew what we had even coming into this year from a human being perspective. Everybody we had on this roster that we brought over, we knew. Tay Davis is someone Coach Shrews and I have known since before he was even in high school. Marcus Burton, he's watched because he played against Braden forever. Obviously, Braden's his son. Logan Imes, we've known. So we knew what we had as human beings, as skill set. Now, you never know exactly how everything's going to translate to the game start, but we had an idea, and we knew these kids as well because we'd already been recruiting them. So it was kind of a seamless transition. We felt that their specific skill sets would fit the holes we had with what we already knew we had coming in. So it was a very seamless transition for us, and it was kind of easy for us to project them into what we were doing going forward.
Yeah, he hit that we knew a little bit coming in. But also to be able to get these guys, be able to get them all together, and now be able to grow with them. I think that's the thing. Like, our vision is like we want to be good in the present and the future. We're going to recruit high school kids, and we're going to keep them here. We're going to make them ours, and we're going to get them better. But that it allows these guys to grow together. Kind of the old, I know we're going against the grain of what everybody else is trying to do. And, if you look at signing day around the country, people don't celebrate this like they used to because, they're recruiting in the handshake line. Like, I'm recruiting high school kids. And so they know. So we know who we got and who's coming, but they know too, right? Like, Sir Mohammed knew who's going to be on our roster. Like, I'm not going to pull a rabbit out of my hat in the transfer portal in the spring, and now he's saying, well, I didn't know you had this guy, or we didn't know this was going to be here. They can look at our roster and see who's going to be here and how they all fit together, which I think, as a parent that has a kid that's a junior in high school, like, he can look and see, like, this is Notre Dame's roster. This is who they're going to have. This is how I fit with them, and I can see it, right? We're not going to beat down the doors of the transfer portal, sign these kids, and then bring in a whole bunch of different kids, and now you have no idea where you stand. Like, you're going to know with us.
Also, I think you have to know what job you have. We're at Notre Dame. You can't get everyone in, but the kids who are coming here for a lot of different reasons. It's not just basketball. It's the school, the community, the connections. So we have to take that into account when we're recruiting. We're not going into the portal because we can't get them into school anyway. So we specifically focus on the job we have. Not every job is the same. Where we came from is different. Other jobs in our league are different. But we know here you're going to have kids, and that's why we're going to build it the way we are.
Maybe for both of you. How do you recruit five-star guys and look at five-star guys, or also a possible one-and-done? Both five-star and one-and-dones have been really rare here for this program.
Yeah, if somebody's a good fit, I heard you. If somebody's a good fit, we're going to recruit them. That's it. Like, if if you're a good player and you're a good fit for Notre Dame, you're a good fit for our basketball program, like, we're going to recruit you, right? Like, if you're not, we're not. So I'm not going to recruit some guy that's a one and done if he's not going to fit us, right? Like, the one thing is whoever does the rankings, like, isn't coaching my team.
Those guys used to be really good, by the way. I don't know how good they are now, but they used to be really good.
Right. So, like, they're not coaching our team. So I got to find guys that fit me. If that guy is the top 10 player in the country, I'm going to recruit him because I know he fits me. If he's the 480th player in the country, I'm going to recruit him because I know he fits me because I'm coaching him, right? You don't coach paper. You don't get to coach a ranking. You don't coach a star. You coach people. And I recruit people because I believe in them. And, like, it doesn't. So, like, we're going to take the best. Whoever the best is, right? If I don't know, if there's a top 10 player that's here, that's close, then we're going to go get him. We're going to go after him. And I'm going to make him a priority. If he's, further away, then we'll do the same exact thing. If they fit us. No, we don't change for somebody else. They got to become us.
You guys have talked a lot about getting all three of these guys who have played, with and against a lot of other D1 and Power 6 prospects. How much of an emphasis is that, and what do you look for in how they interact with and play against some of these big guys?
I mean, iron sharpens iron. So you're going to see him against the best all the time. I mean, Sir was at NBA camp, and he was really good there. And, Cole's been playing against top competition for a long time with the Illinois Wolves. And then obviously Garrett, every day in practice, I mean, his teammates, you guys can look, they're signing power conference schools everywhere today. So you're going to get a good look at them, and the way they react is just, it gives you a better idea of how they function around other good players. When you see someone who's never played with another good player, let alone against another good player, sometimes what they do isn't going to translate as well. And by the way, you see that in transfer portal as well. Guys who are transferring up levels, and all of a sudden what they did doesn't work. So there's a lot of things to consider, but you get the best look you can get when you recruit good kids from good programs.
Brian, being a former recruiting guy, how much do you look at now? How many stars are next to a guy's name, or how much does he fit this place?
I don't want to be the cynical, college staffer who says, I don't pay attention to that stuff. Yes, you do. With that said, because I was in that for so long, I also know where the holes in the system are. And they were different when I worked than where they are now, just because of the people who all left when I did. But I don't necessarily pay attention to what they're ranked or who's offered them. But it can give you a guide, and there is a historical level of success of, 5-star guys, 4-star guys, 3-star guys. And anyone who denies that's just ridiculous and lying to themselves. So you pay attention to it, but I'm not calling those dudes hey, should we recruit them? No, that's what we do. We figure it out.
Any other questions? All right, thanks everybody. What about those? Any other questions?
Yeah, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Yes.
Mike, what's it like to coach? What's it like to recruit with the ND on your chest?
Take my spot, Coach.
Go ahead and take Snow out. I don't want to take Coach out. There's a reason I have a job. It's, certainly the instantaneous recognition is huge, right? You pick up the phone. I've coached at a lot of mid-majors where you got to explain where your school is and what conference you're in, and people that they've never heard of. You hear Notre Dame, and that's coast to coast, public school, Catholic school, and it's automatic of oh wow, this is impressive, this is important. So I think that helps open a lot of doors certainly right away for it, and I think it was important for these guys. We've had relationships with them for a long time, but coming here to Notre Dame just made it that much more intriguing of a situation for them. The second part is I think you have to do a little bit more prospecting, profiling a little bit early on for people that fit, You know, it's not just like you said. Okay, when we look down the rankings, who's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? We'll just go recruit those guys, right? Those guys might not be fit for how we play and for Notre Dame. You know, so finding that out and doing more work probably early on is really important with that. You know, there's been an adjustment for that, certainly, but we've also had some people in our corner who have helped us a lot. Certainly want some special recognition to VP of Undergraduate Enrollment, Mickey Kidder, and Shannon Kelly, who's Senior Associate Director of Admissions, who since we've gotten here in March and April and navigating transfers and high school kids and transcripts and all that sort of stuff have been super helpful with everything that we've tried to do so far, with meeting with recruits, with telling them what Notre Dame is all about, with really helping us navigate on, you know, what works here and the type of student athlete to bring in here. So they've been great in helping bring us up to speed because, you know, when you get here and you get that job in the spring, a lot of these guys have been recruited for a long time, you know, so their help that way was crucial to allow us to get such a good class, right? And then now to continue building it and moving forward. But, you know, we're certainly excited with the power of the brand, you know, and continuing to build it from a basketball perspective. But so far it's been great, and we look forward to continuing that, you know, with similar prospects to the ones that we signed today.
Kyle Getter, please have a seat.
I know. He figured out how to work that microphone. He figured out how to work that microphone. He's got the power now.
In having recruited at Virginia and now Notre Dame, how seamless was the process for you? Because Virginia and Notre Dame, you're recruiting the same type of high academic, high athletic type of kid.
That's a great question. I think there's, you know, for me, it was a pretty seamless transition just because there's so many parallels. We talked about the fit. We've talked about that a lot today. You know, the academic piece is super important. You know, character. I think recruiting to Coach Shrewsberry's pillars and what's important to him. You know, guys that are have humility, are passionate about the game. You know, are good teammates. You know, and I think, you know, just all of that. Like I mentioned, I think that, you know, there's a lot of just parallel lines you can draw between the type of people. And then I think also the skill sets, you know, and knowing Coach Shrewsberry like I do, knowing who he can coach and who he can't. But Notre Dame's a unique place, a special place, and I think Mike alluded to it. The brand is a powerful brand. It's a global brand. You know, we go out recruiting. We're in an airport, and I'm, you know, walking down to my gate, and I hear "Go Irish," you know, and it's it kind of makes, you know, the hair stick up on your arms because the brand is real. And I think, you know, what we're building is something special. And, you know, I think the people make the place. And I think as we continue to add people like we have in this class, you know, I think we're real excited about the future.
I won't call you. Just ask me. With your Indiana roots after you got this job, how many coaches contacted you from around this state and said, hey, Ghost, keep me in mind, I got a guy for you, either 24, 25, 26?
You know what? You get hit up every day from the city of Indiana. High school coaches wanting to come to practice. Oh, I got a kid that you might want to take a look at, or there's a kid in our conference, or can we come up there and watch practice with Coach Shrewsberry? So, you know, I get hit up a lot about that. I got great relationships with people in the state. I've been in this AAU game forever, and then now I'm on this side of it. But there's a lot of good coaches here, a lot of good people in Indiana, and that's in the Midwest in general. In the basketball fraternity, everybody wants to help each other. That's where I got more of anything. It was like, hey, Ghost, you've helped me, let me help you. So, a lot of good people here.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And with that, we will end our signing day press conference. Thanks, everybody.